All right, let's dive into one of the most just heart-wrenching and frankly confusing parts of the entire Ramayana. I'm talking about the exile of Sita, Queen Sita, banished by her own husband, the divine King Rama. It's this one moment that just seems to fly in the face of everything Rama is supposed to be, right?
And I mean, just listen to these words from Rama himself. After everything, after fighting this massive war to get his wife back, after she's been proven pure, he turns around and makes a decision that has left people scratching their heads for centuries. So, yeah, the big question is just why?
So that's the mystery we're going to try and unravel today. Was this a moment of weakness? Was it the awful burden of being a king? Or was there something else, something much deeper going on? To figure it out, we've got to start with what actually happened.
Okay, so to really get why this is such a puzzle, you have to feel the absolute shock of it. Picture this. Rama has just defeated the demon king Ravana. He's returned to his kingdom a hero, and what does he do? He banishes his wife, Sita, who is pregnant and totally innocent, and sends her into the forest. It's just staggering.
And here's the part that makes it so just baffling. This wasn't the first time her purity was questioned. She had already gone through the Agni Pariksha, a trial by fire. She literally walked through flames and came out completely untouched, which was seen as this huge divine sign of her innocence. And yet, Rama still sends her away. Why? All because of some gossip, some rumors spreading through his kingdom.
So you have to ask, what could possibly be the reason for this? Well, the first layer we can peel back is a political one. It's all about Rama's duty, not as a husband, but as the ideal king.
And believe it or not, it all starts with this one single comment from a common washerman. His spies overhear him yelling at his own wife, and he uses the queen as a bad example. He says something like, "I'm not like King Rama, who would take back a wife who lived in another man's house." And for Rama, hearing this is like a lightning bolt. He realizes that this one little piece of private gossip could grow into a massive public scandal, and it could totally destroy the moral fabric of his kingdom.
And this gets us to this really important idea called Raja Dharma. It's basically the sacred duty of a king. And for a king like Rama, who wants to be perfect, even the rumor of something improper in his own family could poison the entire kingdom. So he makes this absolutely devastating choice. He puts his duty to his people above his love for his wife, above his own happiness. I mean, can you imagine a more agonizing decision?
But hold on. What if that washerman, what if his words weren't just random? What if he was meant to say them? What if he was an instrument of fate? See, some texts, like the Padma Purana, suggest there's a much older, hidden story at play here, a karmic backstory that started when Sita was just a girl.
Now, this idea, it completely changes how you look at the whole thing. It suggests that this wasn't some random political problem that just popped up. No, this was the final scene in a long cosmic drama that was written ages ago. So here's how the story goes. When Sita was young, she overheard these two parrots talking about her future, about her and Rama. She was so fascinated, she caught the female parrot, who happened to be pregnant. The male parrot begged and pleaded for her to let his partner go, but Sita wouldn't. And tragically, the female parrot died from the grief of being separated. The male parrot, absolutely heartbroken, lays a curse on Sita, that one day she too will suffer the exact same pain, being separated from her love while pregnant. And then, he is reborn as the washerman, Krojana, whose very purpose is to say the words that will make that curse come true. Chilling, right?
Okay, so we've got the king's duty and we've got this ancient curse. But now, let's zoom out, way out, to the most profound explanation of all. This is the one that says maybe this wasn't a tragedy at all, but actually part of a huge cosmic plan.
This is the concept of the cosmic Leela, which you can think of as a divine play. The whole universe is the stage, and Rama and Sita, they're the lead actors. From this viewpoint, their suffering isn't real in the way we think of it. It's all part of a script, a performance put on to teach us, humanity, these incredibly deep lessons about dharma, about duty, about sacrifice. So the key takeaway here is that their pain, it's all for our benefit, for our enlightenment.
And to make this play work, this perspective introduces this mind-blowing idea of a Maya Sita, basically an illusory double. The idea is that the real Sita, the divine goddess Lakshmi, was never actually kidnapped by Ravana. She was never touched, never suffered. Instead, a magical illusory copy of her took her place and went through all the hardship. So that trial by fire, it wasn't really a test of her purity. It was the moment the illusion, the Maya Sita, walked into the flames and the real Sita came back out, her part in the drama perfectly played.
But, with all this talk about a king's duty, an ancient curse, and cosmic play, it's real easy to lose sight of Sita in all this, isn't it? To see her as just something that things happen to. So let's shift gears for a minute and focus on her unbelievable strength and her wisdom.
This quote, wow, this says it all. This is not the voice of a victim. This is a woman with incredible insight. She gets it. She understands that some people, they just want to doubt. No test, no proof, nothing you can do will ever convince them. Because deep down, they don't want to be convinced. She is so far beyond needing anyone else's approval.
Really, her whole life is a story of incredible strength. Remember, she was literally born from the earth itself, so her connection to truth was unbreakable. And in that second exile, she didn't just wallow in sadness. Oh no, she thrived. She raised her 2 sons, Kusa and Lava, the future of the kingdom, all by herself in the forest. And her final act? Returning to Mother Earth. That wasn't a defeat. That was the ultimate power move. It was her final, undeniable statement about who she was, proving her purity on her own terms.
So that leaves us with this final question to chew on. Was Sita just a tragic victim, a pawn caught in a game of royal duty and old curses? Or was she something else entirely? A powerful, knowing player in a divine story, showing all of us what true strength and grace look like. There are so many layers to this mystery, and maybe the real answer is the one that speaks the most to you.